Well, friends of the world, Maldini, I promised you this video and we're going to do it. It's going to be a video about Paris Saint-Germain, about the current moment of Paris Saint-Germain. I've already watched the last matches in full. The match in Stuttgart, the 1-4 in Stuttgart, which secured their qualification. The match in Brest, which they won 2-5 with a showcase at many moments, a tactical showcase as well by Luis Enrique. We're going to demonstrate it, we're going to see it, and we're going to talk about Ousmane Dembélé's current form. I've always told you I'm a big fan of Dembélé. I think he's a player with some amazing qualities. Spectacular. His ability with both feet. But it's true that he's a player who many times, and it happened a lot at Barcelona, he was by no means at the level that a player of his caliber deserves. Dembélé has been a starter with all the coaches he's had. I've had conversations with David Hernandez who told me I don't want him to leave because he was really worried about this player leaving because he knows he's a devastating footballer. Dembélé. Because there are very few players who can handle both feet like Dembélé does. And that's the best thing against a defender. I mean, any defender will tell you that the worst thing that can happen to them is to face a player like Dembélé. He has made poor choices many times in the final meters. That's true. But right now, he's at a sensational peak of form and is being key for Paris Saint-Germain. 2 consecutive hat-tricks from Dembélé. We're going to talk a lot in the Y-Scout report. From all this, I want to know your opinion. I know there are many pro-Dembélé and many anti-Dembélé. I want everyone's opinion, of course. But right now, Dembélé is the top scorer in the French league. That's something no one can deny about Dembélé after scoring 2 consecutive hat-tricks. Let's take a look at the goal scorers table for the French league, by the way. So you can see that I'm not making this up. Obviously, this is the French league right now, 14 goals. Dembélé. 13, Mason Greenwood. Wow, what a player. Also, by the way, 12 for David from Lille and 11 for Barcola. Between Barcola and Dembélé, it's been tremendous. The truth is, there's something very interesting that we need to look at here. It's an average of more than 1 goal for every 90 minutes he's playing. Dembélé, more than 1 goal per 90 minutes. That's right. In expected goals, he has 7.92. That means that if everything is normal, it is well above what it should be because it is defining much better than what's logical. This means that under normal conditions, he should have 8 goals, but he has 14. This means that his scoring level is likely going to drop. It's true that he has 2 consecutive hat-tricks, and he won't be able to keep that up for long. Ousmane Dembélé. And when it comes to shots, I want you to see this too, which I think is very important. He's the second footballer with the most shots in the French league, behind Mason Greenwood. I'm not surprised. How's it going? But of course, Greenwood has played more minutes than Dembélé. Dembélé averaged 4.16 shots per game for every 90 minutes. While Greenwood has 3.22, that is to say, in relation to minutes played and shots, he's the one who shoots the most in the French league. And he is the top scorer in the French league. With this, you can see exactly what he's doing. Dembélé, as for passes, by the way, he's currently the 6th player with the most passes in the French league. The first is Kang In Lee, second is Mbappé. The little brother, the one from Lille. In terms of average per 90 minutes, 3rd was Cabella of Lille, 4th was Abdel d'Angers, and then 5th was Dembélé, then Rabiot of Olympique de Marseille, which is a very interesting team to follow. But let's talk about Dembélé. And we're going to talk about what PSG is doing in general. Because also in this video, while we see Barcola here, we see Dembélé here, I also want to talk to you about Kvaratskhelia, about what he's doing. I don't just want to talk about Dembélé. I want to talk about what Kvaratskhelia is doing, who is also performing at a sensational level. The Georgian, who just arrived from Napoli and is contributing a lot, we'll see that soon. In the Champions League, he's contributing a lot. On the left side, in a Paris Saint-Germain that is a hyper-offensive team and also a very attacking team, with many changes in style at various moments. Because, for example, Kvaratskelia's usual position is this one. I like to analyze all this with you. Kvaratskhelia is obviously on the left flank. Dembélé is the center forward. This is the last match against Brest, and Barcola is on the right. This 4-3-3 formation they used against Brest worked really well for Kvaratskhelia, as it allows him to exploit space effectively. In fact, the first goal, the goal scored by Dembélé, is exactly this play that you're seeing with this ball from Fabian Ruiz, who, by the way, is performing at a great level as well. For Kvaratskhelia in space, if he has space, it's true that Brest is a team that took too many risks for me with their high defensive line. I just finished watching the match. I hadn't had time to see it until now, but I wanted to watch this match and the one with Stuttgart to make this video for you. Well, Kvaratskhelia in space, the giant crushes you. But we might be wondering, and then Dembélé, who ended up scoring the goal, we might be asking if Dembélé always plays as a number 9. Well, Dembélé is doing everything in the team. For example, in the match against Brest, here we see Barcola, Kvaratskhelia, and Dembélé coming a few meters closer to combine and receive the ball. Dembélé is being an aggressive player, even without the ball. I see him more committed than ever. Honestly, look at this play, for example. He did it throughout the match. How he presses, he's the first man, what I always say. The first defender has to be an attacker because he presses the opponent's exit very well. Here, he pressures the goalkeeper and Dembélé. We see Kvaratskhelia following the play, but especially Dembélé going to press. He's been doing this a lot, and he did it very well. I think Dembélé feels that he is in an exceptional moment of form. And all of that, here we have her playing as a number 9 in this match against Brest, where Barcola started on the right wing. But of course, in the end, the fullbacks just look. Nuno Mendes, how does he get there from here? Barcola on the right, Kvaratskhelia on the inside. He does this a lot. Barcola changed positions a lot. Right wing, left wing. In fact, that's why I say I think Luis Enrique is a coach who is managing to create a phenomenal team at PSG. I have kept in this Champions League. You've probably seen a lot from the videos. I've mentioned it in many shows. That was having too much bad luck, as PSG was creating a lot of danger, many goal-scoring opportunities. The famous expected goals that Luis Enrique mentioned at the time, they were creating a lot of goal-scoring opportunities, and it wasn't normal for them to be in the situation they were in. 8 goals in the end in the last 2 matches. In the end, in the medium or long term, everything, practically always, the team's form ultimately leads to results. In the last 2 matches, 4 goals against Manchester City and 4 goals against Stuttgart. The team has brilliantly qualified to play precisely against Brest. Brilliantly, I mean, because of how the last matches have been. Because based on the level of PSG, they have played matches that deserve to be among the top 8. I believe so. I believe it, and that's what I'm saying. Exactly, because there have been matches they've lost or didn't win in a way that you see it and just can't believe it. The number of chances PSG created, honestly, they were off in the areas. But the amount of chances they generated and the number of chances they are creating right now with Ousmane Dembélé and also with Kvaratskhelia and also with Du and also with Kang In Lee. Look at how Kang In Lee is playing. Notice a detail that I want to share with you. So that we've already talked a lot about Dembelé's incredible level, which is what I'm saying. The ability he has to change the team's formation. Look at this match where Barcola started on the right. There are moments when Barcola moves to the left. Here you have it. Kvaratskhelia moves inside. Dembélé drifts a bit to the right. And here we have Achraf Hakimi. It's basically a 3-3-4 formation with Kang In Lee, Vitinha, and Fabian Ruiz. By the way, Vitinha had a match against Stuttgart. Outrageous too, magnificent. And coming out with 3 with Marquinhos, William Pacho, who I really like, and Nuno Mendes. Watch out for this one from Paris Saint-Germain. I'll say it again. Last season, they made it to the semi-finals. It wouldn't be surprising if they made it to the semi-finals again. Watch out for Paris Saint-Germain. Because of the level I'm seeing from him lately. Here we have it again. Dembélé on the right, Kvaratskhelia inside, Barcola. Sometimes when Dembélé positions himself on the right, it's Kvaratskhelia who isn't in his best position. But at Napoli, we've also seen him play centrally, the one who plays in that position, and Barcola on the left. They are 3 players who have speed and are great at finding space. Of course, against a team like Brest, which pushes the defense up like that. Well, it ends up hurting you a lot, and logically it crushes you. But like I said, I'm really liking it a lot. A lot, PSG. Let's see if they can maintain this level from Dembélé. It's going to be practically impossible for him to keep up this scoring level, that's obvious. But I'm really liking it a lot. I want to finish with some little detail. So, I was telling you, this team is somewhat chameleon-like regarding the formation. Look, for example, the formation against Stuttgart, of course, this match, he couldn't play it, Kvaratskhelia. But notice that they came out with a 4-4-2. Watch out for João Neves. He's also a fantastic player. He even plays as a fullback in this team. With 2 inside, Vitinha and Zaire Emery. Changing the players' positions a lot. Dembélé and Barcola up front in the 4-4-2. Then some modifications. But of course, if we also analyze, take a look what this match was. If we also analyze what he did against Brest in this match, let's say the starting 11 against Brest, here you have it. It changes completely. 4-3-3, Dembélé playing as a striker, something he already tried last season with quite a bit of success. I remember against Barcola in the Champions, Kvaratskhelia on the left, Barcola on the right. I think this is the ideal forward line for PSG, who also has Gonzalo Ramos, who, by the way, scored 2 goals against Brest. Then, in the midfield, there can be many changes, but for me, the starting forward line is Barcola, Dembélé, Kvaratskhelia, and I insist, with this team because the level they are at is really good. It's really good. I wanted to tell you all this, and I wanted to start giving you a heads up. We're going to talk a lot about PSG, about Dembélé, about Barcola. Here we have both, and Kvaratskhelia, who has contributed a lot to the team, and of course, Luis Enrique. I think he's getting the most out of everything he has. A team that once had Messi, Neymar, and Mbappe has been losing all of them, and last season they were semi-finalists in the Champions. Generated a ton of chances to play in the final, but he couldn't because of the mistakes he made in the final moments. And in this one, let's see if Ousmane Dembélé keeps up this level. Anyway, we continue with a lot of videos. As always, analyzing football from the inside, just the way we like it. With Wisecout and with you all, a hug, champions.